Orlando's 5-2-3 out of shape.
Right side, Watt, runners in the box for Orlando, the shot, and there's the first goal. She's back at the score sheet. Barbara Banda, 1-0 Orlando. They get that first goal they were looking for.
We're just talking about the importance of ball carriers. Progresses the ball forward into the final third, lays it off for Ali Watt. Watt, what an incredible ball to go on one touch, looking for the run of Barbara Banda. Doesn't even need to beat Rabano. It's Barbara Banda's positioning inside the penalty area, beating Flynn to the spot, her shifty movement, and what a clever finish out of a central position.
Oh, there's Mazinga with a step behind the defense. No flag up. Mazinga in the box, shooting it. It's tied at 1. Morehouse calling for the flag. They're still celebrating.
This is what their game plan hinges on. Zornoza off of the dribble, demands pressure from Gatral McCutcheon. That leaves an opportunity for Brecca Mazingo to investigate that space in behind the back line. Orlando Pride center backs getting caught out. Brecca Mazingo in behind Sams, takes one touch to the top of the area, and then gets Morehouse to commit off her line. Perfect finish as she goes to the back post, tags it, finds the equalizer here for the Utah Royals.
To the right, Thompson. That's risky there with Banda there. Banda takes over. McGlynn has to retreat. Barbara Banda gets around. That net is empty. And now it's Orlando up 2-1.
Intended for Delfava, and Barbara Banda just takes one touch, gets around Delfava, eye to eye with Mandy McGlynn, who's at the edge of her box, who works so hard to get back into the box. And so effortlessly, it's the timing, it's the crescendo in which Barbara Banda plays with. She tacks, slows down, waits, and then makes her opportunity to dribble around the goalkeeper quickly, engages the goalkeeper, knows there's space around the edge, and then it's an easy touch to find the go-ahead goal. And
slowly getting up. There's Banda again. Here's Banda getting into the box, looking for a hat trick. Went near post and scored again. Banda 3, Utah 1.
Barbara Banda in between the lines, then dips in behind the back line, gets around Delfava. Flynn doesn't slide across the cover, gives Delfava an opportunity to get back and defend. And look at this. This is incredible, the way that Barbara Banda squeezes that through such a small window of space. Hits it with so much precision. Absolutely put her entire boot through it and establishes a more comfortable lead here for the Pride going into halftime.
Seattle only had 38% possession in that game, only completed 57% of their passes, didn't get a shot off in the second half, and did the job defensively. But here, Washington keeps the pressure on and puts one through.
Not marking, and just love this from Ashley Hatch. This is what she does so well. She just drops in, invites other players to join into the attack, and then they can get Casey Kruger higher up the field. And what a beautiful ball that is, because it's just feathered in behind into the path of Ashley Hatch, and she's the one that starts this play, then works to get herself inside the box, and then finishes it off. But this is just incredibly poor defensively from Seattle Reign. Unmarked. First is Ashley Hatch, and then Croy Bethune sneaking in. Holmes has a touch on her, but it's Bethune that gets herself in the position just for an easy tap in past Dickey. Nothing that she can do about it.
Jordan Bugg, good wide ball, centered, deflected, loose on the deck, shot there, in! The equalizer coming quickly for Seattle. Shea Holmes gets her first, and it's 1-1.
But this is an area of concern and has been a vulnerability for the Washington Spirit, is box defending. Everybody's ball watching. No one's picking up players. Curry puts herself in a wonderful position. They can't clear it. But this is Holmes, the wing back in the position you want, high up the field, on that far post. There's a movement with intensity, good pace, isolating yourself in those 1v1 situations, but it's the follow-up from Holmes on that far post that puts themselves in the position to be able to get on the end of the misclearance and find the back of the net.
Now the product out of the University of Washington, playing a pro soccer here in Seattle. able to put that one to the back of the net. And the Reign able to level the score here at 1-1.
Yesterday, and I asked him, hey, do you use that as bulletin board material, the fact that the Spirit have never scored a goal at Lumen Field? And he goes, I didn't know that, but I'm going to tell the team now. Of course, this is his first time coaching here.
And now they've got a pair. Hatch able to finish Monday on the cross, and Washington retakes the lead at 2-1.
You see Mickey Owen wants to be in those advanced positions more often than not if she can as a center back. But again, way too easy defensively. Just one pass takes out two lines defensively of the Seattle Reign. And right there, Gift Monday does such a good job to keep herself on side. Looks like maybe she was going for the shot, but doesn't matter because look at the positioning of Ashley Hatch. All she needs to do is a little tap in. Got on the wrong side of Lauren Barnes. Just places it, taps it in to the back of the goal.
Mace kept it alive for Prince. Low for Mace. The cutback Bia, the Brazilian star, fires it and off near and in. Kansas City leads.
Being able to get around the edge, Nichelle Prince gets faced up is a combination with Haley Mace, and the vision, the patience, the selflessness from Haley Mace to be able to pull that back right into the run of Bia, the composure that Bia has to take that touch, evade pressure, and then hit this with so much pace against an off-balance Alyssa Nair. Finds the breakthrough here that Kansas City was efforting for so long inside their final third.
Bia. Rocky Rodriguez for Shawinga block, but Bia with a pickup, setting it through. Shawinga, goal! 2-1, 2-0, Kansas City on a Shawinga goal.
And this is outrageous in its simplicity. Little combination play at the top of the box. Bia uses the sole of her foot, then just dinks it in behind as Shawinga gets behind Chicago Stars back line. And it's Shawinga's knowledge of where she is on the field. Looks at the goalkeeper. You can see her scan to see if Alyssa Nair is coming out aggressively, and it's her library of finishes there. Just puts it at the back post, nestles it into the corner, and gives Kansas City a bit more insurance towards the back end of this first half.
Drives it in, and that is a goal for Chicago. Groom is celebrating. Lorena wasn't sure about coming out or staying back, and she gets punished.
This league, Shea Groom makes that little run around Elizabeth Ball. So much strength there, sensational, superhuman finish here off the head of Shea Groom. She just contorts her body, even with pressure draped all over her back. Lorena caught off of her line, doesn't set back to be able to react, but the precision to steer this one on frame. So much composure there from Shea Groom. Finds a way back in this match for the Stars.
DiBernardo leaves it. Izzy Rodriguez puts one up. Headed by Sharples. 3 for Kansas City. 3-1.
A 1v1, and now from a set piece. It's a great delivery from Rodriguez, and incredible as Kayla Sharples just shows so much strength to get up, evade the challenge. A towering header flew through the air and knotted it in the back of the net. Alyssa Nair tries to retreat back, but so much pace on that ball from close range leaves the goalkeeper helpless.
How are they going to change that up?
Olivieri breaking through the crowd. Now Dahlkemper had to come off after being tended to. Looks like she has come back out, but the shot taken and scored! Houston, right off the hydration break, finds the back of the net. Avery Patterson, her second of the season.
By Avery Patterson, and this is just excellent play, opening up the spaces to give your players opportunities. That's what we were talking about earlier. Houston spreading Bay. Patterson just tucks inside and laces on the ball. With that many players, 5 players for Bay around the ball, nobody puts pressure on Patterson close enough to stop this shot, and she makes Bay pay for it.
And you mentioned all those players around the ball.
Well, you have to wonder if she's reading the goalkeeper and the other players and not making those decisions ahead of time.
Look at this chance for Hawkins! the 53rd, Penelope Hawking for a third straight game. Slots it home.
Look at her just find that seam in there. And if you give Penelope Hawking a little bit of a window, remember I told you, find where she is on the field. She's going to punish you. She's so technical on the finish, bends that around Abby Smith. Nothing Smith can do about this. This is a very, very technical goal. Nice touch by Hawking.
Out in San Diego. Kundananji, one-on-one, gets past the defender. Now the goalkeeper's out, and Bay takes the lead. Rachel Hill says, thank you very much, but it is the work of the one they call Rudy.
Turnover pops out right here. You're going to see the quick turn by Houston, and that long touch again, and that speed by Kundananji, and then there's the pass. I think that was a long touch to herself. Rachel Hill right there to tuck it away. But that's how quick Bay can turn this game around.
We're going to call that a pass and an assist. Saskia Kundananji doing the work and setting up Rachel Hill. First goal of the season for Hill.
I'm like, it's easier said for me.
You do have some fresh legs in there, and players like Maggie Graham and Messiah Bright, who's running onto it now. Kiki Van Zanten's come on. Bright, one-on-one with Dahlkemper, gets her turned, has her shot, scores! Houston ties it up! Messiah Bright, the shining light for the dash in the 88th.
Bright all the way from the back end, the service over, and then Bright says, 1-2 touch, I find the space, I'm gonna take it myself. She's patient, and then she tucks inside, but to have the technique to bend this ball around Silkowitz in stride is just such a nice goal by Messiah Bright. 2-2.
First goal in a Houston uniform for Messiah Bright. She had just won all of last season with Angel City. What a big one that is to tie this one up.
Flynn shoots and she scores. Racing Louisville up on the road.
Draws the handball off of Hodge, and Taylor Flint says, pick that out of the back of the net. Perfect penalty, side netting. Nothing Anderson can do, and Louisville lead on the road.
Tiernan, pass Malay, the rookie gets the edge to her right, shoots, Tiernan scores! What a finish! Her 6th goal this year, and we're level.
It has been a different energy from Angel City since the start of this second half. But look at Tiernan, she says, play it to my feet here, and then watch this turn right here. That touch with the outside of her right foot to get past the first defender, and then she sees a gap in her favorite space, that far side netting, right foot through it, a rocket across the face of Jordan Bloomer. That is a rookie.
Off the corner from Sonis, hangs up in the air, headed from right, across to Sears! Fisher taps it in! Emma Sears and Racing Louisville respond.
Angel City has just been leaky on set pieces defensively, and here Erin Wright is left in no man's land. Nobody even around her, and this is the only place she can go, right back across the face of goal. And when you're looking at this Louisville team, yes, you have to manage Flint, but you have to manage Emma Sears as well. That is an easy, essential tap-in for Sears, back across the face of goal, right where Anderson comes from. A little tuck away there, and a big celebration from Louisville as they go back up.
This team has scored 16 goals now this year, Angel City. Might not be done yet. The feed to Fisher, taking on 2 defenders, moves to the middle, plays it off to Mello, shoots, and she tallies! Savannah DeMello! 3 goals for Racing Louisville.
DeMello's, it looks like, in the stands, but this is what Taylor Flint gives you. First time pass, breaks 2 lines of defense, and now it's a 2v2. I don't know how Fisher gets that pass off, but she has eyes in the back of her head. for one of the best attacking players for this Louisville team, Savannah DeMello, flying to get into the right place. First time finish, right foot, right past Angelina Anderson.
Deep breath. Alyssa Thompson, yes! It's a 1-goal game.
Goes to VAR, red card, penalty, Thompson, back of the net. 3-2 Angel City, now they're up a player with momentum, at home, plenty of time. Can they come back? That's the big question.
Well, this is a frustrating turn for Racing Louisville.
This is one of the things that O'Sullivan does so well. She'll still find the gaps. O'Sullivan into Manaka, gets it back, plays it out wide. Ball played across, open header into the back of the net. Feely Rao opens the scoring for North Carolina. San Diego are stunned. Patient in possession. Sean Nahas said this, and it's Denise O'Sullivan who is just the marionette pulling all the strings here. She finds Ryan Williams in this advanced position after a good 1-2 with Manaka. And then Williams, eyes up, understands that the space is going to be at the back post, and we got a diving header from the other wing back, Feely Rao, in an advanced position. I love this. This is why they changed to this formation with these outside backs playing as wing backs. But I think one of the things San Diego has to do, as we're halfway through this first half, is they got to go over the back. Yeah, they got to go over top.
Well, they heard you, Jordan, and they've got Cascarino going in on goal. Cascarino gets it across, and the ball is in! San Diego have leveled the score at home! Pearl Maroney has the goal, and it is her first to get this place rocking.
Takes some time to figure out what the opponent is doing, but once they figure it out, they can exploit it. And here it is a perfect ball in behind for Cascarino, and you just let the girl go. Zoom, 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 down the sideline. It's not a perfect cross across because it's bouncing, but it threads a seam, Allie, right between the defenders. And this is what Maroney is paid to do on that left side. Yes, she starts as a left back, but they want her to get as high as often as possible. She ends up being the goal scorer here, and that's the celebration Jonas Eidevall wanted.
Both of these keepers great at keeping the ball in the back of the net. And how about this? Adriana Leon looks to capitalize, and she does! San Diego up 2-1 over the Courage.
Sensed blood in the water, and then they just go. Corley stepping initially, and it was the pressure originally by Leon that leads her into this space at the top of the box. They pick off the ball from Kurtz, and then it's a first-time finish, far post, well placed. I think Murphy might get a touch on this, but I love this hunting by San Diego, saying, all right, if you're going to play out of the back, we are going to make you pay.
That inverted either wing back or there it's Stouty stepping into this half space.
Manaka plays it through Stouty, across, denied. Manaka's there, into Shaw. Manaka still! Manaka levels the score!
To add is his players in the outside back position tucking inside, and this starts all the way back with the defender, and it builds and builds and builds. But here Manaka stays with it. It goes off of Shaw. We're going to call that the best 1-2 these two have ever done. A nice little layoff for Shaw. Manaka can put it away. And now that's 3 goals in 2 games for Manaka. Just 20 years old and lighting it up for North Carolina.
The Wave will play it short. Nice little chip into Dolly. Dolly back post. Ball still alive. And it's played into the back of the net by Kristen McNabb, who puts the Wave back in front. Game on. This has been a thriller, Jordan.
They all want the same things. I didn't think it was going to be that they weren't going to be as good defensively as we've seen them, but good offense is going to beat good defense. And here it is the center backs now showing off. It's Armstrong sending the ball back across to Kristen McNabb. I talked about earlier her fearlessness inside the box. She scores the goal, becomes the 13th goal scorer for this San Diego team. Putting her body on the line there, leaving her feet, saying this is not getting past the far post.
I know you're putting in work at Galazzo. I had to just get your thoughts here. You're falling all over the place. Adriana Leon is as well. She gets a touch and she's got a brace.
Excellent finish as Leon is onside this time. Well, this is where the game broke open for San Diego in the first half, is trying to go direct in behind a high North Carolina back line. It's timed perfectly by Leon, and here she just gets a little touch before getting collided into by Murphy. This is brave. You have to know that the contact is coming, and yet Leon gets a touch on it, puts it away.
If you tighten that up, this is an even game. Arsenas driving into the box. Nice footwork. Gets a shot off. Blocked. Still alive. Ball shot. Goal. Maria Sanchez makes it 5 for San Diego, who have just been on fire tonight. This team cannot stop scoring.
I love this from Barcenas. So shifty and confident, but then this is where her game has evolved. She has found the ability to not only be this type of player, a couple of step overs, the inside out, the shot, but here to be patient and say, all right, actually the better shot is centrally. Sanchez megs her defender, slides it in under Casey Murphy's arm. That is a nice finish by the left foot of Maria Sanchez. And San Diego is celebrating